allows you to translate how you feel into a measurable event for a doctor to evaluate. Now's the time to move on the next generation of what matters for pulmonary patients.
Onyx Live is proudly sponsored by Humphreys Law and Panacea.
My name is Nick Delmonico. I'm the CEO and founder of Strados Labs.
And what are you guys working on?
So Strados Labs is working on a remote respiratory monitoring solution. We developed an FDA-cleared CE-marked biosensor for listening to breathing patterns, lung sounds, coughing and wheezing, and using AI to detect them autonomously so that we can identify the earlier markers of worsening disease state in real time so we can get patients the right care at the right time. The device is worn on the chest, and so it's listening to lung sounds and measuring breathing motion as well. And so the best way to think about it is like a wearable stethoscope. And so we're taking what doctors and nurses would be listening to if they could listen to their patients all of the time and generating those acoustic signals, and then layering on our algorithms that can identify when wheezing and coughing versus normal breathing is happening.
You said you've already got FDA approval, so what's your roadmap for the next couple of years?
Yeah, so we're FDA cleared and we're CE marked, so the system is used all across the world now in clinical research. And our next vision is to be able to get the algorithms to demonstrate predictive capabilities, because we know we can accurately measure what matters, wheezing and coughing for patients with pulmonary disease. But what we want to demonstrate now is that by capturing that information earlier and in the real world where patients are in their home, we can predict which patients are going to exacerbate and need care and get them the right treatments at the right time, and then be able to deliver that as the standard of clinical care for patients with pulmonary disease.
And you spoke about, in terms of furthering the actual hardware and software, the potential for predictive analysis. So how does this go further than a clinician listening with the stethoscope if they could listen all the time?
It's a great question, and we think about what would be valuable to patients if their doctors knew it all the time. If the patients, when they started to wheeze or when their coughing got so bad that they lost their breath and they stopped being active or stopped going up the stairs, that's when you know you need care. And so this is really unlocking something that allows for access to care anywhere and earlier than waiting for an emergent event like an ER visit. And so for patients, and we work with thousands of patients across 42 countries now, mostly with pulmonary disease like asthma and COPD, they love this because this is really that missing link for them to say, I don't know if this medication is working, or even though I'm using it, I still feel like things are getting worse. And it allows you to translate how you feel into a measurable event for a doctor to evaluate.
So this year at JPM, who have you been speaking to and how have those conversations been progressing?
Yeah, the conversations have been progressing across the board for us. We talk with our investors, we talk with our partners, pharmaceutical companies who are developing the next generation of drugs for pulmonary disease, and we're able to demonstrate with our technology how we can add value to them in showing the regulators what matters to patients. And I think that's also resonating with the investors who we're speaking with, where we can show them not only the number of customers we have now, but the number of patients, the 55 million breaths that we've counted with our technology across thousands of patients worldwide. And so it's really having a very positive impact on our success here at JPM.
What's your career journey been prior to being CEO?
Yeah, I got into this because I was a patient with asthma. And I had worked in healthcare management in advance of starting a technology business, but I went to a hackathon event at a healthcare system one day and said, why are there not better tools and technologies for patients with respiratory diseases to track what matters to them? So I've been really fortunate to take that idea that was a business idea 7 years ago, turn it into an FDA-cleared device and technology platform that's delivering for patients and our customers every day.
And in a couple of sentences, what is your main message for investors this week?
My main message for investors is that now is the time for better information for pulmonary patients. Okay, it's been 40 years of pulmonary function tests in labs and patient-reported outcomes. Now we need to objectively measure what matters to patients the same way we do with continuous glucose monitors, cardiac monitors that are standard of care for other diseases. So now's the time to move on the next generation of what matters for pulmonary patients.
Fantastic. Nick, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, I appreciate it.